Welcome. Welcome. Hi, friends. Welcome. Happy Saturday. Let's do that again. Happy Saturday. We're live. My God, we're live. We're back. It's been a couple of weeks. Let's do that one more time. Drop the air horn. Yeah, we are live, friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome. I'm happy to be with you. Let me turn the music down. Just a touch. I got the music in my ears as well this week. I usually don't keep the music in my ears, but I need a little bit of energy this morning. Get us going here. It's a cloudy Saturday morning here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Happy to be with you all. My God, there's something in my eye. I promise, I sat down for the last 30 minutes, all right? We did a bunch of prep work. Make sure the stream was good, make sure volumes were right, make sure everything was working. Sure enough, we get on stream, something breaks. And now there's something in my eye. But I'm excited to be with you. Happy Saturday, friends. For those who don't know me, my name is Corey Weathers. I have the privilege and pleasure of leading one of our developer content teams at All Things Okta for Auth0. Yeah? Shout out to that air horn. We are here with you. We light up the stream. We try to light up the stream every Saturday morning. Now, here's the deal. I have been dropping the ball. I've been dropping the ball for the past couple of weeks. We've had a couple of things going on outside of work. All things at home. I was off work this week. There's just been a lot going on. But you know what? We're back and we're live. Yeah? Yeah. Now, I got my headphones just ajar. The kids are here. You will not see them on camera. We tend to keep them off camera to protect their own privacy, but the kids are watching. I promise them that if they watch the stream, so both of my kids have said to me that they want to be YouTubers. So I promised them if they watch the stream that they could also play on their tablets at the same time. So this is me giving them a shout out. What's up to the kids? Yeah. Also, I have them in the sound effects as well. I have a couple of their quotes in the sound effects too. So if you hear the sound of children, I promise you it's my own kids. We call this indentured servitude. But it's all in the name of fun. Listen, we like to stream up to hang out with you all, different developers around the world who are building and doing amazing things. I've been using this as an opportunity to give me a chance to connect with you, to listen to you, answer any questions you may have. Also, just talk shop. I love sort of making space for and with other developers. And so we've lit the stream up to just keep that energy going. Yeah. And I'm excited about that because it does. I've been noticing that. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I've been noticing that the more I stream, the more people reach out. Some people will reach out, they'll ask questions, they will connect to just have conversations. We'll talk career things, we'll talk tech things, we'll talk many different things, but it's all in the name of good things, yeah? So I'm glad about that. That's one. Second thing, I told you we've been inconsistent. We're gonna try to get back consistent. So just because I haven't been streaming doesn't mean I haven't been coding. We've been doing a lot outside of the stream. And so I'm excited to share some of that with you all today. We have about an hour to go today. After this, I promised the kids we would go make some runs. So right after this, I'm headed straight out. We're gonna go do some runs because it's Saturday, right? I'm also headed back to work next week. So I got some stuff I gotta take care of ahead of that around the house. So we got a lot to do today. So let's run down the list, yeah? First, I wanna give you all a bit of context on some of the stuff I've been working on off of the stream. I'm excited to share this today. It's something that it's just been a long time coming. I'm really doing this. If I'm being honest, I'm really doing this because I finally made the decision. Actually, I'll say it later. I'll tell you later why I'm doing this, but it's going to be fun. So I'm going to share you one project that I'm working on outside of the stream. The other thing I'm going to talk through this morning is we've been working on our fractions app. So I've been building a fractions app to help my daughter learn how to do math with fractions. It's been a fantastic challenge for me because I'm also learning some new tech skills and things of the such. And so as a result, I'm going to show some of where we left things off and where things have landed, because we're doing it with .NET, Blazor, Aspire. I'm going to try to add in some AI in there to help with some of the question and answering. So that's going to be fun. Stay tuned for that. And then the third thing, I'm going to take a look at the project and we're going to try to connect up some dots. So when we last left each other, I was working on some things whereby our database just was not working. I don't know why it wasn't, but it just was not working. And so we're going to try to connect up some things. We got it fixed last night. I think I got it fixed. I'm going to also share a nice blog, something about that, so that we can take a look and see and how we can help other developers in that journey. Okay. So first, we're going to share a little bit of what we've been working on. Second, I'm going to catch you up to speed on the fractions app. And then third is we're going to try to write some code to get things connected up and talking to each other. Exciting times. Yeah. Yeah. It wouldn't be a Corey Code stream without us having something to celebrate. And so I need to use this time to make sure that we give some shout outs. Okay. Now one of the many things that I do, and I do a lot of different things, but one of the many things that I do is I just make sure to support others in the developer advocacy community. I've been working in developer relations now consistently since 2017. I did it earlier in my career and then left and came back. And so coming back to it, there's always, there's this thing that I learned when I went to business school. It's called being a student always. Shout out to our Hasi friends, Go Bears. We always talked about the defining principles, and one of them is always being students. And I love when I put myself in situations that help me to just continue to learn and to grow. And so I do want to give an amazing shout out to a fantastic community. Let me see if I can, I have it. Yeah, I want to give an amazing shout out to a fantastic community, which is the Black Rail community. Shout out to those folks. Yeah, they are just absolutely amazing. One more trumpet horn, one more air horn, give them all the praise. Every other Friday we get together, we connect up, and we just give each other space to talk through, work through, coach through different things. I was on the call yesterday. We had some fantastic conversations about things like, how is it that you bring people along in the journey of some of the DevRel work that you're doing? How do you define success in some of this work and make sure that other folks are aligned? What are some practical tips you can use to help get that alignment when you need it? It's just some amazing conversations. I want to give a shout out to Rizal, who's over at Block, who started up that community. I want to give an amazing, there's a number of other folks who are in that community who are just doing fantastic work. And I love that I get the chance to connect with them. So thank you all for letting me come on and hang out with y'all. I just think it's amazing. Yeah. Now, if this is your first time watching, we love to make sure we save space for our viewers. So please don't be shy. Definitely say hi. We're going to hop into the fun projects, and I'm going to show you all some things. Today, I've got my water cup, right? Celebrate the small victories, right? And we've got our water-based cup, and our water-based cup comes to us by way of OG Off Zero. Shout out to OG Off Zero. Yeah. We love OG Off Zero. We love Off Zero. They pay the bills. So shout out to Off Zero and to Okta, yeah. All right, so let me change screens for 2 seconds, and I'm gonna pull something up that I want y'all to see. I've talked a lot about this. So here's the thing. So I've been working on something, okay? Outside of the stream, we know AI has been taking over everything, right? And so I've been working on something to help me better understand all things AI. And it's actually really quite fascinating how this works. It's been a project of mine that I should have done, who knows, let's call this 8 years ago that I started in DevRel consistently this go around. But really what it's come down to has just been a labor of love and a passion and a necessity. And so I'm going to share my screen really quickly because those of you who know me know I don't always enjoy writing. It's something that takes a while. And the reason why is because I struggle with starting from a blank page. Okay. I really like, if you tell me to go build something, go write something, I promise you I can do it. But if you give me a blank page, I'm going to stare at the blank page probably for like an hour before I figure out how to organize my thoughts. This is one of the reasons why I actually like AI, because I can go have a conversation with like ChatGPT and be like, hey, listen, I need to write about this and I'm struggling with where to start. Tell me where to start, right? And it does a really good job of giving me an outline that I can be like, oh, I like that, I don't like that. Let me take these bits and then go run with it, okay? So with that, let me just share something. And I am just really excited about this. So let me transition now and show y'all the thing I've been working on. Friends, your friend, Coriel Weathers, has launched a website, yeah? Yeah, no, get all the things, drop the bombs, drop everything. Yeah, drop everything. Yes, we've launched a website. Now here's the thing. I don't care to actually have my face out there as often as I do, right? Like if you look in the bottom corner, right, down that way on the far left corner, right, you'll see the image that I use is a picture of me that's a drawing. The same picture gets used here, right? And that came from, a headshot that I took, okay? Or actually that was just a picture that I took, if I'm being honest. But I don't really care to have my face out there, right? But what I realize in this world is like, content is king. Content remains king. Content has been king for a long time. I also don't care to be a social media influencer. So why did I start the website? Well, I started the website with 3 goals in mind. 3. 1, I wanted to get something out there that was my corner of the internet. It really was that simple. I didn't want anything that felt like I had to like work within someone else's platform. Now, the joke's on me. This website is absolutely hosted on, It's hosted on GitHub Pages. So this is truly just a GitHub Pages site. It's a static site. This is the code repo right here. We have action set up to get this thing out, to keep it going. I mean, we've been working on this thing, right? So yeah, but that was the first goal, is to have my own sort of corner of the world where it was just mine. The second goal, so I have been a .NET developer for a really, really, really long time. I have never been a Microsoft MVP. Now, a lot of folks are probably like, wait, yeah, I know, wait, sorry, the sound effect is delayed. A lot of folks are probably like, wait, what do you mean? I know a number of Microsoft MVPs very well. They are fantastic people who are incredibly sharp. In fact, I work with someone who's a Microsoft MVP, but I myself have never been a Microsoft MVP. So I'm gonna try to change that. I'm going to try to change that for the first time in my career. And I will see how this goes. Like, once I start telling a couple of them, a lot of them don't even know that I'm doing this, because I literally was just like, let me just see where this goes, right? But we're gonna see if we can change that. We're gonna see if we can make this a really cool thing and actually get our MVP, yeah? So that's the second goal. And then the third goal, I'm just learning and I wanna share more, yeah? So as I'm learning and I'm playing, and this gives me a space to kind of do that, it just gives me a space to go learn, do, and share more. That's really what it is. So I'm very excited. Ladies and gentlemen, I have launched the website, CorielWeathers.com. Let me drop this in the chat, and then let me go say hi to chat. I didn't do that today. That's terrible. I should have done that. CorielWeathers.com. Our friend Drenbin is here. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. He said, hey, does GitHub Pages have free hosting? Yes. Okay, so wait, hold on. I paid for the GitHub Pro plan. Why did I do that? At some point, I needed access to additional features in Copilot. And so I paid $50 for the GitHub Pro plan, and it was like $50 a year, right? So it's just my own personal thing, right? Like, I'm not making money off of this. Well, it's kind of true. Some folks do reach out and they inquire about grabbing time with me. And on the contact form, people do legitimately, they can reach out to me, or they can put some context in here to tell me why they're reaching out, right? And so I have had a couple of folks reach out to me to say, hey, we want you to help us with a thing. Sometimes I help advise on different things. So this is one way where folks are reaching out to me. But the other thing here is I really don't make money off of this. And so this is just a static, free GitHub Pages site that just sits up here from this repo. And the GitHub Actions, legitimately, I mean, the last deployment I did was 3 weeks ago. I have some work I'm doing in a branch that's not synced up to GitHub yet. That is very much focused on trying to get our streams. I want to get my streams into the site, so stay tuned. That's coming really soon. But the hosting on this is free. I don't spend any other money on this within GitHub. So yeah, $50 a year. It's not a bad deal, yeah? Yeah? Where's my trumpet? Yeah? So I love that. The other thing here is, so this site is powered by Hugo. If you've never used the Hugo CMS, I guarantee this is probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. And I don't like doing front end work. I really don't. So it took me a while to figure this out, of like how to configure the front end so that I could get it to behave nicely and look the way I wanted it to, where we have things like that and we have a light theme, and so things automatically translate, but I had to do some things to make this work. And so there's a lot to like about this. Now I have 2 other blogs that are coming this week. One is going to be on the project that we're working on. The second one is going to be on the Postgres thing that I ran into last night that really pissed me off. But I say this to say, like, this has been a really interesting exercise for me to learn and play and do things. So with this being a Hugo site, it's super fast. It is incredibly detailed. I love that things are very well integrated. I'm able to also license the content, right? So I threw a license on here so that people don't just copy and paste and try to steal the content. So yeah, and as you see, I don't care to put my face on here. So I use a fair bit of Chat GPT to help me figure out like things like header images, or to figure out things like some of the metadata that I put behind the scenes to make sure that this shows up, right? So if I do a search, like if I just go to Bing and I go Corey L. Weathers and I go DevRel, look what shows up. Look what shows up. First result. That's what I want, right? So this is where I'm super excited about that, because the site is actually doing what I needed to do, which is to create a space for my content to show up and potentially support other people. Now, the other side to this is I got a bunch of things out here. My God, look at this. Look at this. I had a bunch of things. So this means I'm actually doing some part of my job well. But yeah, so the website's launched. We're excited about that. Shout out to that progress. Yeah. One more time. One more cheer. Okay. So this is a space where folks can keep up with me, where if you don't see me regularly streaming, you can still see me putting content out. I am going to repost this content as well on LinkedIn. Once we get the stream stuff up, I'm going to start to do some work to get this also posted out on LinkedIn so it gets a little bit more traction. So stay tuned there. I don't use the X platform. I know developers are still on there. I prefer not to support Elon in that way. So while I do sometimes casually browse, you won't see many of the bits of content here, there. So that's something else to factor in. What else? Okay, so that's one project. Now let's talk about the second project, our Fractions app. So I told y'all I was building this Fractions app, and I have to open up a different version of Visual Studio. 1 second. Because I forgot I need the presentation mode. So, here it comes. I've been working on this app. Really, I got inspired by my daughter. I've been working on this app because she's been learning fractions and trying to figure out like how fractions work and all the things. Look, my computer's like acting up now. And all the things. And so I've been working to try to help like build something to help make it easy, fun, and interactive for her. And in doing so, it's been an interesting lesson for me of like, how do I stay up to date on the latest and greatest in technology and all this other stuff, right? And as I've been doing this, I've been learning a lot. This is my first time building with .NET Aspire. For those who don't know that, it's a fantastic sort of orchestration engine that allows you to create, take a multi-project solution or application and truly orchestrate it through Aspire, which is really nice. I can show you a little bit of what that means. I've been building with Postgres. This is my very first time building with Postgres. I know a lot of SQL Server. I spent a lot of my life as a young software developer building with SQL Server, learning how to tweak and tune SQL Server. I have no context on what to do with Postgres. This is my very first time doing this. And one of the things that stumped me yesterday was a pain in the butt, but it has everything to do with how Postgres handles time zones. So we're gonna talk about that as well. The third thing was I wanted to be able to do something that showed my kids what I actually do. And my kids think all I do is sit down and talk to a camera all day. You know, because in my day job, I spend a lot of time in meetings. I spend a lot of time talking to people, a lot of time trying to help people. And so when they see me, I'm often like, no, I'm in a meeting. Give me a minute, right? And they struggle with that. They've seen me put my finger up many times and be like, hey, press pause. So this will give me something that can at least show them a little bit of what Daddy actually does, which is nice. So we started building this fractions app. It's been an interesting experience. Let me share with you my screen and I'll talk to you a little bit about what's here. And I'll try to run it as well so you can see, because it doesn't work. Okay. So let me close that. Yeah, I did something weird. I did something weird to my Visual Studio settings. I'll fix this after the stream. But in effect, our fractions app is a .NET Aspire application. And because of that, there is this project called the app host, right? And the app host is truly the one thing that is like the true center of all of the things. Let me just say it that way. So when I run the app host, you'll see it tries to connect up a bunch of things. In fact, let's just do that. And so as I'm running this, there are a number of other projects you see in here. One is data migrations and a migration service. Those two projects together form my database because they allow me to save information in the backend database. There is an API project that allows me to use a backend API to connect to and from the database, right? And then there's a web project because I did want something that was on the web. But you'll also see there's this Maui project. I wanted something that could also run on tablets, and that's what that allows me to do because these kids are always on their tablets. I haven't built with Maui. Oh God, it's probably been at least 5 years since I've touched anything Maui. Okay, like it's been a really I did a very little bit of Blazor hybrid. Probably sometime when the shutdown was happening for the pandemic. Very little bit, not much more. So getting back into it is a thing. It's been kicking my butt. You'll see this service defaults. This is for our app host, disregard that. And then you'll also see the shared project. And why there's a shared project is there are a number of things that I want to share between the tablet app and the web app. And so I put them in the shared project to make it really make sense. So we'll see how that goes, cross fingers. I've just started it up. So let me take a look and see if it's, yes, it is. There it goes. It's running. Okay. And so this is our application in a nutshell, right? I told you there was a database. This is for Postgres, so we can administer the database. There's our API. Disregard migrations, and then there's the web front end. Now this is complaining because I haven't started Docker. So hold on, let me do something. Because all of these run as Docker containers, right? So they're small containers that talk to each other. And Aspire takes care of all of that for me. So I never have to worry about it, which is fantastic. But everything depends on the database. That's the other side. If the database isn't up, then we're screwed. So this is now, I've started Docker in the background. This is going to refresh. Yeah, you see, things are starting now. Yeah, see, so this is running. Now the database is running. As this does what it does, now the migration service is starting. Now the migration service has run, so it's deployed the database. Now we have an API and we have a front end. And if we look just right here, hold on one second. I have to figure out how to close that window. I don't know why it keeps opening, but if I just, yeah, see, I did something. Hold on, I gotta do it again. I closed the wrong window. Sorry. I want to find a way though to get it to not spin up new containers, but that's a different discussion. Okay, so now if I come in here, this will give me a chance to see what's actually in my database, right? Uh-oh. It's gonna hiccup. What happened? What happened? Oh, here it goes. Okay, there we go. So we've got fraction problems. We've got fractions themselves. We've got problem sets, which help set some difficulty, some types of fractions, things of the such. And then I have a user progress table because I was thinking, oh, it'd be nice if we could track user progress, but I haven't added anything around users to the application. Different discussion for a different day. But this is all here, right? So now we properly have a database. And then there's all these other things that you can do, right? Like you can create views on top of your tables, and I have no idea what materialized views are, so I'm curious about that. You can add functions in here to make things go faster and have it live closer to the data instead of putting it in your .NET code, blah, 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 ray. I also love that you can, here's the structure of your database. All of this is defined in C#. So while all of this is here, I'm using Entity Framework. So all of this is defined within my migrations, which is nice. Oh, here we go. I told you something was gonna break. Something broke. I don't know why this came up actually. I have no idea why this came up. And I can't even tell what this is. This is like, I don't even know. This has to do with something with PG Web. It must. Let me continue. Can I just continue? Okay, it's not gonna let me continue. I have no idea what this is. I bet you this has to do with PG Web though. I guarantee it. Because that's the one thing that's been giving me problems. So there's a couple of things that have been giving me problems. Let's talk about it. One, so as I've been building with Postgres, I've been learning that everything you do with Postgres is in pretty much either directly with the database or it's in the web. That's a good experience when it works. When it doesn't, it's a pain in the butt. And so sure enough, look, here we go, right? I have added the database, so add Postgres, make sure we have a data volume so we can save data, okay? Add PG Web so I can do things, and then we add the database, right? So we create this database fractions. Then we run the migration service, right? And the migration service has to do its thing. And nothing else can run before the migration service, right? Yesterday, let me tell you what I ran into. And y'all are gonna be like, wait, what? This is crazy. So I am very used to, with the way that we're doing this, we're using Entity Framework. All right, Entity Framework is a way for us to model most of the things that we need within our C# code so that we don't have to do anything else, okay? Like directly on the database. So in our C# code, I'm like, okay, let's create a builder. Let's use a DB initializer. Let's add it to a database context factory. And the reason why I'm doing this is because of the fact that this will live in the cloud. Different discussion for a different day. Let's use Postgres. Let's grab our migrations because Entity Framework uses migration. So you spell it out in C# and then you create a migration, blah, blah, blah. So I'm in here, right? We get everything created. Everything looks fantastic, right? Nothing runs. Then we get in here, we realize, hey, something's wrong with the times. So there was this old timestamp type that got changed to this new timestamp type. Still, nothing runs. Then I did some research and I found out something. And I don't know if y'all knew this, so you tell me if you knew this, because the .NET developer in me, I had no idea. I was writing some code yesterday, and I was like, wait, I don't understand why this is such a big problem. Well, apparently, Entity Framework doesn't play well. I'm sorry, Postgres doesn't play well when you have a timestamp type that is a datetime in C#. So say you want to save a timestamp in your database. It can't be a datetime. It has to be something called the datetime offset. And what's interesting, hey, wait a minute. Hold on. There it goes. So what's interesting is this is how you reflect that timestamp. Now, timestamp is literally just to be like, at this moment in time, this thing happened. That's why you use the timestamp, right? It literally is a stamp of the current time, date and time. In .NET, to do that, you use something called the datetime offset, not a datetime. I haven't used the datetime offset in a really long time because I haven't built an application. So now I'm, getting back into the swing of things, and I'm like, oh, this is funky. I saw nothing. ChatGPT was terrible about figuring this out. I had to go do some digging on Reddit to figure this out. So now I'm going to write a blog post about this, which is if you want to use a timestamp in a Postgres database, you must use the datetime offset. And from there, your column type will mostly figure itself out, but you must use a datetime offset. This threw me off for like 3 hours yesterday. So if you look at the time here, you'll see the time was just off, because that's just how difficult it was. Just crazy. But now I want to figure out what this current error is, because I didn't get that error last night. So let's actually just go run this thing. And let's go see what's happening. And let me hit the console, because I want to see if something comes up in the console. Sure enough, something did. What is that? Okay, so that's Blazor. That's fine. But what is this? I want to see what Copilot says, because I don't know where that's coming from. I have nothing. I don't believe I have anything in my code base that's using content. Let me see if I can see the call stack. Oh, you know what I think this is? I think I know what this is. Hold on. I think this has nothing to do with our application. I think this has everything to do with a plugin. 1 second. I'm going to disable a plugin. Let me disable this. Extension. Manage extensions. Okay. I just disabled it. I'm pretty sure it's my password manager. I bet you it's my password manager. And sure enough, no error. Yep, no error. Okay, so now let's go hit this site. Ooh, now that's funky. Okay, there we go. So we've got our basic application. Now, there's no styles on here. I was playing with the styles, so disregard that. I can fix that. That's why it looks like just this plain black and white page, you see. You know, there's nothing like special there. And even if you look at the mobile version, right, like there's nothing special there. We can fix that. That's why you see this here. But we've made progress. So I got to fix the styles. I need to make sure that this connects up to the API and that the API brings back data from the database, okay? And then we need to make sure that things are displayed and dragging as we need them to in both this and a mobile version. So we've got progress. We have Hello World. I'm calling that progress, okay? And this is after we did all of this, okay? So everything's running. It's a lightweight system. It's not too crazy, right? But now we need to like get everything talking to each other. So that's what we'll start working on today. I don't expect, we have about 20 minutes left. I don't expect that we're gonna like finish anything today. We're just gonna continue to make progress and think out loud. I'm gonna work on this a fair bit during the week because I'm gonna make faster progress. I want this to be done by the end of August. And as you see, we're still at Hello World. So we have a lot to do in a really short amount of time. One question someone asked me was, is this open source? Not yet. There are things I want to open source here, but not yet. I want to get the core basic structure going first before I open source this. So I do have this in source control, and I do have like a proper README on here and all the things and blah, blah. And ChatGPT helped with some of that. But we'll get this open source pretty soon. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is cool. I didn't realize this. I've never seen this before. If you've used Visual Studio and you've seen this before, let me know what you think of this. This is cool. They've pulled in all the services and executables here, so you can see everything just here. That's nice. And I gotta bet that you can do things with it. Yup. Yup. That's cool. That's really cool. So this is our app host. That's our migration service. Our migration service should have shut down, actually. I'm surprised it didn't. This is our API. And then there goes, yeah, this is cool. And I love that you can see the DLL dependencies, because usually this is how you start to recognize where and how your code has dependencies on each other. So like most of my code has dependencies on service defaults and shared, but that's it. If you break shared, you break most of the project, right? But you can still do API separately. So that's cool. Okay, let me stop. Let's stop and let's go fix some things. So I'm gonna close this out. Other tabs. Let me consolidate. Let's go to our API. Well, let's go to our web project first. And let's take a look at our pages. And I want to take a look at the style thing, because I think I want to fix the style. Because I got the style stuff in here, so I want to figure out why the style is broken. If I go to app.razor, that sets up the router correctly. If I go to index.html, yeah, the style sheet stuff is there. CSS. I don't have anything in here that's that special. This is all the stuff that comes out of the box. I haven't changed anything here. I don't care about sample data, because this is oh, hold on. Let me see if that fixes it. Sorry, I'm gonna run this app locally and just see if that works. Because I renamed some stuff and I'm betting that that's what broke this. Yup, that is what broke it. And now we fixed it. So now we have that back. That's good. Let's cheer for that. Because now we have a proper nav and we have the about. Okay, so I have to commit that. Let me just do that really quickly. Stage that. Fixed the CSS by renaming the styles path in the home page. Okay, so we'll commit that. That's fine. Then let me come back and let's go now to our pages. And I'm gonna just create a net new page. We'll just call this problems.razor. And then I'm going to create a page off of this. And you'll see, we'll do a couple of things because I need to do this and I need to do this. I'm going to cheat on this a little bit. I'm going to create a service for our API and then I'm going to do this. So hold on. Let me grab that. Let me paste that. Let's call this problems. Then let's go to the nav layout and let's go add in a link for us. And we're going to change that to problems. And that's a nav link, sure. Let's change that to problems. And then I probably should find a different class here. Let me see. Does IntelliSense work? It doesn't. Okay. I'm just going to leave that there then. And let me save that. So now the new page will come up. Then I want to come to the here. Services.add scoped. This connects up to our API. So this HTTP thing says, hey, builder services, add scoped. Give me an HTTP client that I can use to talk to the API. But because this runs on WebAssembly, I think I want this to go through a proxy. And I saw something that said, let me see something. It said .NET Aspire YARP support. I saw something that said, that you could add YARP in to .NET Aspire to do the proxy. Where did I see it? That's 9.3. Was it here? Let me see. Maybe it was here. Yup. Introduces preview support for YARP, yet another reverse proxy, a long requested addition that brings reverse proxying into the Aspire application model. This integration makes it easy to add a lightweight proxy container to your distributed app. And the reason why I think I want to do that is because I think I'm going to set up a couple of different APIs. I'm going to have one that's very much focused on problems, and I'm going to have one that's very much focused on users. Yep. Okay. So I need to take a look at how to do that. But before I do that, let me get this API set up going first. And then what I'm going to do is make sure that it knows how to bring in YARP. Because all I'm seeing is builder add YARP, which is the API gateway with a config file. And then I need to give a reference to the two services. So this assumes that I'll create the services first. So I could do something like this. Yeah, see, this one's problems, this one's users. I want to split them up. Okay, let me do something. let me do some cleanup. One, let me come in here and get this thing connected up to the backend database. So, or the backend API. So I'm gonna inject, inherit. What was the thing? It's not inherit. It's inject HTTP client, HTTP, then override. Yep. Wait. Do it again. Override. There we go. Okay. So this is to make sure that when this component starts up, we have this thing connect up to the backend API and start to grab problems from the database. So I could do something, and I probably need to fake the data for now, just so that, like, kind of like how they did here in the weather. So you see how here in the weather, they have this thing going and getting things from sample data. I'm probably gonna have it do the exact same thing for now. And the reason why is because this requires all things Restream. So I have some data that I can turn into JSON that would work really nicely and get it serialized. So let me take a similar approach to this. And let's go add a reference to our shared project. Good, we have that. In our shared project, we have a model type called problem set model. Fantastic. Those are records, even better. So what I need is a combination of the two. I need something that gives me the question. So I'll probably take the fraction problem model. Let me do it this way. Yeah, that's fine. Then let's go var results equal to, oh, that's fantastic. But I want to change that to problems.json. And then let's come in here, go there, add new item, problems.json, add that. Then I'm going to come in here. And then I have a couple of sample projects. Where did I put them? In the migration service. In the migration service, in the initializer, I have some seed problems. So we want a question and answer, options, explanation, hint. I don't care necessarily about the difficulty yet. I'm gonna have to do some nasty formatting here, but we'll get that fixed. And this is me just formatting this so we can get this done. And then now this is complaining about the new line, and that should be complaining about the new line. Oh, and then I'm just gonna do it that way for now. And wait, let me do that. Save that, save that, save that, save that. Okay, good. This gives me at least one problem. That's fine, because I can then just have it go grab that. Then what I want to do is come back into here and turn this list string into a list of the problem set model. I'm going to cheat and go var record private record what I really want is these fields. Question, answer, options, I think explanation. I think that's it. We'll figure out how to pull in the hint and all that. In the perfect world, I'll change this to use that same model, but for now, we'll just have it be a problem. Then what we'll do is we need a way to display these problems. So I can do something that's like a, oh, I need a field. Hold on. List, problem, problems. And then something like, I'm gonna set this null by default. Get this out of here. Then go. Yeah, because this has the potential to be null. So I could do something like that. And that'll fix that real quick. Then we could go if problems is null. Whoa. Hey, this gave me some kind of decent code. Let me see what this said. Oh, this is because, what you call it? Okay, so we fix that. Problems is null, thing. Problems.count, bet. Else, for each problem, do a thing. But this didn't do this correctly. Okay, so let me do that. Let me do that. Save that. Now, why is this complaining? If, else. No, we fixed that. The else block is missing a closing character. No, we fixed that. Make sure you have a matching. Yeah, we fixed that. Where is it? Oh, it's because of this. It's because of it, actually. It's because of this. There it goes. There it goes. Now this just gave me a really basic thing. So let me take that out. I'm gonna put that there. Control K, Control D. Okay, I'm missing something. Yep. Control K, Control D. Done. Okay, so I just stole a bunch of their sample code. This has no fancy formatting, you know, doesn't look like, oh my God, all things pretty, but short version of this is we have an HTTP client that we can use to connect to the backend API. Then we have a page that has a heading that says problems. If problems is null, then it just says, hey, we're gonna load them. If there are no problems, it's gonna say there's nothing available. If there are some problems, it's gonna create a list. And that list, and that's the formatting we need to fix, right? So from a UX perspective, I got to come up with whatever that's going to look like. For each of the problems or each problem in the problems, we're going to have it state the question, give some drop downs, and then give an answer. Now I need to change this so that you can select a drop down and hit submit. So we'll fix that. Then underneath it, it'll give the explanation. We'll fix that as well. What is this complaining about? What? Oh. Fine. Jesus. It's because this was protected, but the problem record type was private. You want it to be the exact same, or you want it to have the right level of accessibility. Blah, blah, blah. It's 5 minutes before the hour. I got to start the wrap up. Let me do one quick thing. Let me do a quick build, and then I'm going to run this very quickly. I'm going to push our code that we committed already to GitHub, and then we're going to wrap this thing up because I'm going to be back next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. I think next week, so Friday is my brother's birthday. It's also America's birthday. So we may get some stuff in on Friday in honor of America's birthday. I'm gonna check in with my brother and see what he's doing for his birthday. All right. But then we'll be back on Saturday. This is still building. I'm just waiting for it to finish building. Okay, let me try this one more time. Yeah, it's still building. I don't know why it's taking so long. That's weird. That's very weird. And while that does that, let me push these changes. So I don't want to do that. What I do want to do is view all commits. Come here. Go okay, come here. Go there. Push that. And now that should get updated. Yep. And so now they should be in the remote as well. And sure enough, there it is. Okay, good. So that CSS change has been fixed. Now the build finally succeeded, so that's good. Let's run this super quickly. Super quickly. Come on. There we go. There's problems. Okay, good. Now I expect this to break. Yup. What's the console say? Yup. JSON value couldn't be converted. Okay, that's fine. This is a good error because this means things are doing what we expected them to do. Yeah. So things are starting to connect up, which is what you want. I'm going to work on this some more outside of the stream. We're going to keep this thing going during the week. I'll have more to share next week. We should have a couple of things happen by next Saturday. One, there will be 2 new blog posts. One will be describing our application. The second will be one on this date-time offset thing that I found. 2, we will absolutely have made some progress to get some of the code like connected up, the systems. I don't care as much about the UI yet. We'll fix that together later on. And then 3, we'll be celebrating America's birthday, aka my brother's birthday. Yeah, cheers for that. Thank y'all for joining. Listen, we live stream here on Twitch, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. If there's someplace else you think we should be, I told you already, I'm not doing the X thing, but if there's someplace else that you think we should be, definitely let me know. I'm happy to consider it, figure out how we light this thing up. I've been looking at Blue Sky. They don't really allow you to stream there, but there's always fun stuff happening. So that's a good thing. Yeah. And then with that, I'm going back to work this week. So if you reached out to me during the week and you missed me, it's because I was on a bit of a break. We had some stuff going on locally, which was fantastic, but also like this was my opportunity to take some time away from the social interwebs. So if you're looking for me and I've missed you, I'm sorry. I will catch you next week, probably this weekend before I get back to work. If you guys want to get in touch, CoreyLWeathers.com. That's the website. There's a contact me form just there on the page. Thank you for supporting all the things. Yeah. And with that, we're out of here, friends. Listen, it is your boy Corey L. Weathers saying enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you all next week. Same time, same place. Ciao for now, friends. Laters.